What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we're going to talk about something that happens quite a bit, and I come into it quite a lot. And I have a client who's going through this right now, and so if he watches this, he'll know what I'm talking about, and a lot of you will too. And he gets to a certain point, and people in general get to a certain point a lot of times, where they're doing really good on their diet, and then all of a sudden, they have a really hard time sticking to the macros. And I've seen this whether you're on low carb, like 30 grams of carbs a day. I've seen this on people on 200 grams of carbs a day. I've never really pushed anybody up towards like the 800 gram mark. I mean, very rarely do you get somebody that can handle that many carbohydrates, fats, and proteins together. But there comes a point where they find it almost impossible. And they say the words like, I can't stick to this. I just can't. I just can't. I hear that over and over again. And I step back and I go, okay, you just can't. So now, you know something's getting the best of them. So now, anytime... Food is something physical. It's not mental. Okay? Food is something physical. You hold it, you eat it, it fuels your body. It's physical. Now, something physical should not control your mind. Period. Nothing should control your mind. You should be in control of your mind, which is in control of your body, which is in control of your thought processes, and all of your impulses, everything that you're going to do. You're in control of it. Now, if something interferes with that, there's a problem. Okay? Something like heroin. Something like eating disorders, food addictions, all these things. Something that... You know, whether you like to fucking sniff paint, like you like to drink gasoline, whatever the case may be, something that is an impulse that you can't control, there's something wrong with that. Now, I understand why. I completely understand why. Some people are driven by hunger more than others. And some people don't know what hunger is. Some people don't realize what's happening to them at that time. Let's set up an example. So you have a person who's eating, I don't know, let's say 200 grams of carbs. Okay, where some people say, oh my God, it's so low. Anyways. 200 grams of carbs, and they're getting leaner, okay? They're doing some cardio, not a lot, maybe half hour a day, 20 minutes a day, not a whole lot of cardio. They're getting leaner, they're getting stronger in the gym, their waist size is going down, their arms are getting bigger, they're getting more vascular, every weight in the gym is fucking going up almost on a weekly basis. So everything is optimal, their blood markers are good, their health is good, they're sleeping good, and all of a sudden, they're like, I can't stick to my macros. I don't know what the fuck is going on, I can't do it. Now, what happened? Everything is going optimal. What happened? There comes a point where, I don't know, everybody's different too, so I'm not really sure where this would take place for you. But there comes a point where body fat-wise, when your body fat starts to drop to a certain point, when it gets lower, and some people can be 12%, 8%, 10%, I don't know, the brain starts to freak out. As it's using those fat stores, your body does not want to get rid of those fat stores. They're for an emergency source of fuel in case you were starving. That's what they're there for. Okay, so if you're getting rid of those and it starts to see them going down, hormonally things change and it sends a signal to your brain saying, I'm fucking starving. And it's sometimes so overwhelming that people can't control themselves. Now, your body, being 2014, your body doesn't know that you're fucking starving it on purpose. Your body thinks it's fucking way back in the day when there was no food around. It doesn't realize that there's plenty of food around and you're doing this on purpose. You're not in danger of dying. You're not going to die. So therefore, it sends that signal and it sends it strong. It wants you to know you're going to die. You're going to die. Even though you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm doing great. I feel great. Everything's going perfect. Why am I so hungry? I don't get it. That is the survival need to survive. That signal, that survival signal says eat. Now, some people, me particularly, in my case, having the heroin addiction, having other things I've had to overcome, dieting is kind of the easy part for me. It's easy to say, I'm not going to have a fucking lollipop, or I'm not going to have a fucking milkshake when, I can't have any kind of opiate or heroin when you crave it on a fucking daily basis, and the pull to that is even stronger. So I understand that, not everybody has that ability because they're not exercising that restraint and control on a daily basis like myself or some other people that are addicted to drugs. However, there has to be some kind of self-control, restraint that you have to exercise in order to be able to use it when you need it. So if you're sitting there and you're eating, 200 grams of carbs and you're like, I can't take it, I can't take it, I can't take it. You eat a whole box of fucking cookies, okay, you gave into that impulse. Okay, what happens if you don't give into that impulse? What do you think? You spontaneously fucking combust? You think you fucking die, you pass out? Nothing happens. It goes away. It's like an itch. If you don't scratch an itch, it goes away. So giving into it is the worst thing you can do because you already gave into it once. It becomes a pattern. When it pops up again, pattern. Pops up again, pattern. Now, a good not explanation. Anyways, a good thing that happened to me recently was I quit drinking the Diet Coke and the Diet sodas and all that shit. Now, when I go out to Elevation Burger, which is a grass-fed beef, it's just, a healthier burger place. Instead of getting the Diet Coke, I walk over and I get ice water. Now, the ice water thing is on the Coke machine. It's very easy just to say, fuck it, I'm just going to have one Diet Coke now. Fuck it, who cares? Doesn't matter. And just fill it up with Diet Coke and have one Diet Coke and not worry about it. However, I purposely know that my brain is going, I want that Diet Coke. I don't know what's in it that makes me want it, but for some reason I really want that. And that was really causing some, I don't want to say health complications, but I was really feeling pretty shitty, when I was drinking a lot of that Diet Coke stuff. So now I walk over there and I look at it and I make the conscious choice. I'm not going to drink the Diet Coke. I'm going to have ice water. I put the ice in the cup, put the water, put the top of the cup, sit down and eat. When I get back up to go get a refill, which I drink a lot of water, I'm not going to the Diet Coke. I look at it again. I'm not going to get Diet Coke. Like, I exercise the thought specifically. That's what I want. It's not good for me. It fucked me up in the past. I'm going to avoid that. I'm doing this. A conscious decision, even though the impulse is there to just do it real quick and say, whatever, I'll just scratch that itch and get it over with. It'll be no big deal. Then tomorrow I'll start with no Diet Cokes. So there's definitely a way to get around it and a way to exercise it, that self-control. But make no doubt about it, just because you are hungry does not mean you're starving. Just because you're hungry does not mean you need food. We have been conditioned in this day and age to be fucking stuffed to the gills. And if you've got more than fucking 10% body fat on your body as a guy, you're not starving. That signal is not that strong. You're not going to fucking die. You could probably get down to, I don't know what Alberto Nunez gets down to, but you can get down to whatever the fuck he gets down to and not die. And I don't see many people even getting that close. So, the threat of death from starvation is not there. So it's just, literally is all in your head. So if you have this impulse you can't control, you need to stop and think about it for a second, because this is not a normal part of the brain. I mean, it is normal, but it's not. You should be able to fight off any kind of mental aspect by thinking about it and overcoming it mentally. If you do something physically because you can't overcome something mentally, something's broken in there. You have to get that fixed. Therapy, counselors, stuff like that to try to figure out what it is. But the root of the problem is a lot deeper than I'm hungry and I just want to have some carbs. Bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is a blog. I'm Bios3 and I approve this message, and we're out.